How's everything been
Right,
since
it's very quiet in here.
It's quiet.
since the spring? How everything's been?
It's been good. I think our guys have had a great summer. Got a chance as a coaching staff, obviously, to take a little bit of time and recharge, but feel really good about the enthusiasm level of all the guys, and I think everybody's excited to go get after it here tomorrow.
Where did you challenge Miller in particular over the course of the summer to make your biggest strides?
Miller is pretty self-motivated. So, whenever there's something that he feels like he needs to improve on, we certainly collaborate on that. And, all the quarterbacks have done a great job of identifying some of the things from spring ball, that we could have done better as a collective group. And attack those things. Got a chance to in the summertime. We always take 4 or 5 quarterbacks from the NFL, that we think kind of have similar skill sets to our guys. And we study those guys pretty in depth and try to steal from some of the good things that they do and try to talk football and learn.
Who were those guys from Miller?
Oh, we looked at, we watched Matt Stafford. Obviously, he's a guy that plays in tremendous rhythm. We watched Kirk Cousins. There were a handful of other guys. Those are 2 of the ones that come to mind right now that we kind of dove into and watched some of the things that they do really well as far as how they play in rhythm, how they do a great job staying in the pocket, taking hits, delivering the ball. So I think there were a couple others that we watched as well, but those are the 2.
When you say dive into them, are you spending hours and hours watching tape? Or are you what's that process look like?
Oh, it's typically just a cut up, and they'll pull plays that they really like, and then we'll put one big cut up together, and we'll kind of let each guy hold the clicker and kind of talk through, what they learned from that play, whether it was something footwork related, something coverage identification related, something accuracy related. So we can always learn from each other, and it's good to get those guys talking. And I thought it was a good little tool for us this summer.
How is just Jaden progressing in terms of the biggest areas of growth and development for him from when he first came in? And do you feel like you might be in a position where you can push Miller a little bit?
I think the focus for Jaden right now is just every day just become the best version of himself. I think for him, just learning the language, because obviously when you come from one school to another, there may be some carryover as far as the play, how you call them, maybe how you read them. So just the communication piece and just the comfort level. Seeing he's made a lot of strides, and then obviously getting to know your teammates and starting to get to know your teammates wise and get those guys going. So I think he's put himself in a good place, and I know he's going to take this thing one day at a time and compete against himself and try to make strides and improve in areas where we need some growth.
On that communication process, how has that been for you and Coach Riley? You've kind of taken over the room now, and he gets to focus more on being a head coach.
We communicate every day as far as, what we want to cover in meetings. Because Coach Riley's certainly going to have an immense presence with our QBs. He's the play caller, runs the offense. So, it's going to be teamwork, but, we communicate every day as far as what things that he may want to cover, things that I'll cover. But that's something that we'll take 10, 15 minutes every day and go through as far as who's going to cover what specific things he wants to make sure, that they hear from them, from him. And so it goes hand in hand. It's good. It's a great situation. I know for myself personally, learning from him and the way that he teaches and communicates to these guys is certainly unique and certainly very, very special. So, I try to do a really, really good job, but when he does step aside for other responsibilities, to make sure that our quarterbacks are hearing the same language and are being taught the same things.
What specific things have you kind of taken on here and there that he might have shouldered or try to get more involved in the past?
Say it one more time, please.
Yeah, what specific things have you kind of taken on that he might have shouldered a little bit more frequently than past?
I don't think there's anything he's completely relinquishing. I think it's just kind of a mix and balance of how much time we're going to spend on each thing. So I don't think there's anything that he's not doing anymore. But given the time frame, we may divide and chop it up as far as what he wants to emphasize each day.
Speaking of communication, the helmet communication, anything specifically you guys are doing to prepare the quarterbacks? Are you drawing anything from the NFL? What do you do on a practice basis to get the guys ready for all that?
I think that's kind of a work in progress, and obviously, that goes into something that could be strategic. So I'm probably going to keep that one to ourselves.
Has it been any different at all preparing for different defenses this year? Going up against some new teams?
You know, obviously right now the big focus on training camp is to make sure you focus on our own development as a football team. So, you know, for me to sit and tell you that we've spent hours and hours and hours, yes, we've watched the film. But right now, these next couple of weeks especially are really just focused on us, our team, who we are, what's our identity going to become. And then, you know, when you get into the different leagues, I mean, football's football. There's certainly some teams that are going to have a little bit different schemes. But, you know, we've all been doing this long enough. You know, people are going to play cover one, cover two, quarters coverage. Some teams like to blitz more than others. You know, so really for us, it's a focus on us and continue to build this thing and grow and get better as a unit and as a football team.
What are some of Miller's best attributes as a leader?
Miller cares about people. I think that's one thing that he is a true, genuine person that cares about our guys on and off the field. So I think our players feel that he's certainly someone that if they need him in any scenario, he's going to be there for his teammates. And he loves football, and you know he loves to pour into his teammates. And you know, quarterbacks in a sense can kind of be like the extension of your coaching staff on the field. So he obviously has a really, really good knowledge of the system, and he does a great job of sharing that with his teammates and kind of being an extra coach on the field.
In terms of how you like to attack defenses, what are the strengths of his that you kind of want to lean into this year?
Oh, I don't think there's anything that's off the table with him. You know, Miller has really done a great job of developing himself as an athlete from the time that we got here to where we're at now. And he can make all the throws. And certainly, you know, from an intelligence standpoint, you know, he's definitely one of the smartest guys I've ever been around. So really everything that we have in our offense, you know, we're going to have at our full disposal with Miller.
Where do you want to see Miller grow to get himself to the next level?
You know, I think just continuing to do the things that he's doing now. Like, he has really good awareness. Like I said, he's a guy that over the last 2 years has really improved himself athletically. You know, so for us, at the end of the day, to be successful, we got to execute and produce. And I know that every day he's working towards that to the very best of his ability.
There's been a lot of talk about what you guys have to do to be ready for the Big Ten. What is it that you think you're going to throw at the Big Ten